What's going on, guys? So this is basically a bit of a follow-up video to my PS4 Pro reveal video. And while I didn't actually rip it a new one, I certainly wasn't over the moon about the Pro. I honestly thought we were going to see Sony come out swinging, matching Microsoft's new console next year, the Scorpio, blow for blow power-wise. I think overall the entire community and gamers were a little bit disappointed, and it kind of was underwhelming and it didn't resonate with us. It certainly didn't meet the hype. Now it's been about a week later since we had the reveal, and personally, yes, I'm still a little bit disappointed, but I feel like the dust's kind of settled a little bit. And I've had some time to do a bit more reading into what the developers are saying about the Pro, and I believe there's a little bit of a silver lining there that I want to go into now. Before we get into it, just a quick FYI guys, I still 110% stand by my previous video. I'm still disappointed we didn't see Sony come out busting with power under the hood, and I still stand by my initial concerns surrounding the PS4 Pro once the Scorpio releases and we see that huge difference in teraflop power. So post-reveal of the PS4 Pro, a lot of developers have gone on record and they've been interviewed about what kind of freedoms they're getting with upgrading or developing new software and games for the PS4 Pro. And a lot of them are saying, look, yes, there's a lot more power under the hood, and Sony's given us the power and the freedom to apply this extra power in areas of a game that we feel it most benefits from. So in some cases, you're going to be getting close to 4K or upscaled 4K at 30 frames per second or somewhere between 30 and 60 frames per second. And in other cases with certain games, we're going to be getting a large array of graphical improvements for 1080p games, which personally I think is fantastic. I love the fact that Sony's giving their developers the freedom to go, okay, go apply this power in areas that you want to apply the power to. But the real silver lining that I see here, guys, and what really actually gets me excited, if it's applied correctly, if these developers are incorporating, let's say, better 1080p visuals, higher graphical fidelity in 1080p with 60 frames per second, but they're also working on, hey, you know what? If you have a 4K TV and you want to go into the menu of the game and select, okay, I want to play 4K 30 frames per second, or maybe I'm just playing like a Twitch shooter like Call of Duty or something like Uncharted or Killzone. And to me, frame rate is a big deal and I'm not worried about the 4K. So you know what? I can pop into the menu. I've just finished the campaign in beautiful 4K and I want to go play some multiplayer at a higher frame rate with better visuals and textures and graphical fidelity. Then fine, I'd love to have the option to be able to just flick it down to 1080p, 60 frames per second, whenever it suits me. Whether my TV be 4K capable or only capable of 1080p, I'd still love to have the ability and the option to be able to control my game and play it how I want. And if Sony do give the gamer the control and freedom and the ability to control exactly how they want to experience the game, then I think that's a massive plus and a big pro and a big step forward for console gaming. Especially when they have the Scorpio on the horizon, I think it'd be a very wise move to give the player the choice and the power for how they want to play their games. And while yes, Scorpio and Microsoft could be planning on implementing the same power to the player and give the player the choice of how they want to view and play and consume their games graphically in 4K or 1080p, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft goes the route with, well, you know what, we have a box that is capable of 4K natively at probably, I don't know, something between 30 and 60 frames per second. And you know what? We're going to lock it in there. We want developers just doing a 4K and a 1080p version of each game for the base Xbox One and the Xbox Scorpio and keeping it simple. But with Sony, I think if this is going to be the case and they are going to give gamers the ability to, from the menu, much like a PC with changing resolutions and settings, if they are giving the player the choice and the power to control how the game runs and plays and the choice over the extra graphical bells and whistles, whether it be in 1080p or 4K and what the frame rates are going to be, then I think that's Sony really playing to the console's strength. While yes, it is less powerful, but if you're giving me the option and the choice at a cheaper price than the Scorpio, then I'm excited for that. Now yes, I do still stand by my initial concerns that I had in my previous video about the reveal of the PlayStation 4 and its lack of power, and what happens when your average gamer walks into their local game store or look at trailers online and they compare the two consoles graphically and they notice that the Xbox Scorpio is looking sharper and crisper in 4K. And if they can get over that initial price jump, then where is the PS4 Pro left? However, I do kind of feel like Sony might be kind of onto something if they can nail the upscaling to 4K and getting a crisp image out of it while giving the player the option to control the game and how they want to play it visually at a cheaper price point. Then it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. Alright guys, let's wrap it up. Does the option to be able to play games the way you want tickle your fancy? Would you love to see the option in a menu of being able to flick it from 4K to 1080p, depending on how you want to play and experience your games? Let me know down below. As always guys, if you've enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up and hit that sub button. And you know what, if I haven't quite done enough in this video to get you over the line to subscribe, then go check out my channel because I have a lot more content over there and I think a lot of it might interest you because chances are if you're watching this video, you're going to like the rest of it. So go check it out. Alright guys, my name's Sully and we'll talk in the next video.